Hello, everyone. I'm Sign1News anchor Vanessa Paloma Bajarnik. Here's a quick look at the top trending international news stories making headlines today. If you post an interesting comment about this update, we may add it at the bottom of the screen. Millions of demonstrators took to the streets in France this week to protest plans to raise the retirement age. The government wants to raise the retirement age from 62 to 64. In Paris, protesters threw bottles, rocks, and fireworks at police stationed around de la Bastille. Protesters in Paris, Marseille, Toulouse, Nantes, and Nice, which is where I live, brought many transport services to a standstill. Many protesters are also staying home. One company, Total Energies Refineries, says about 70 to 100% of its workers walked out. The French Union is also trying to decide on the possibility of further strike action. People have been protesting in Peru for over 7 weeks, and the protests have been deadly. At least 54 people have died and 722 people have been injured. Protesters are demanding the resignation of President Dina Boluarte, and they want a new election. Officials say protests are in at least 45 country provinces across the country. More protests are expected despite the government declaring a state of emergency. Authorities say Matteo Massino Denaro was arrested after 30 years on the run. He is considered to be one of the bosses of Cosa Nostra Mafia and one of the most wanted men in Europe. He was arrested while being treated at a private clinic in Palermo. Denaro was sentenced to life in prison for his role in the deaths of 2 prosecutors in 1992, and he is considered responsible for dozens of mafia-related murders. When authorities searched his home, they found a poster of actor Marlon Brando from the movie The Godfather, and another one of Batman's Joker. There was also a banner that read, "There's always a way out, but if you don't find it, smash everything." At least 14 people were killed in a helicopter crash in Ukraine Wednesday, including Ukraine's interior minister and at least 1 child. There were also at least 25 people injured, including 11 children. The crash happened in a suburb of Kyiv near a kindergarten and a residential building. An investigation is underway to figure out why the chopper seemingly dropped out of midair. There hasn't been any suggestion from Ukrainian officials about Russian involvement. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky described the incident as a tragedy. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern made a shocking announcement this week. She is resigning. She has been in office for 6 years. She said she's not stepping down because the job is hard. She says she's resigning because she doesn't believe she has the energy to seek re-election in the October polls. Her last day will be no later than February 7th. New Zealand Education Minister Chris Hipkins will replace Ardern until the new election on October 14th. Family and friends gathered in Italy this week to pay their final respects to Italian movie legend Gina Lollobrigida. Her funeral took place at the Church of the Artists in Rome. She died on Monday at the age of 95. Lollobrigida starred in Bread, Love, and Dreams, The Wayward Wife, and The Woman of Rome. Together with actress Sophia Loren, she came to symbolize Italian actresses in the 1950s and 1960s. Lucille Randon, the world's oldest known person, died at a nursing home in southern France. She died Tuesday at the age of 118. She was also known as nun Sister Andre. According to a spokesperson, she was born on February 11th, 1904. Sister Andre dedicated most of her life to religious service. During World War II, she looked after children and also spent 28 years caring for orphans and the elderly at a hospital. According to the Guinness World Records, Sister Andre was also the oldest nun and the oldest COVID-19 survivor. Tuesday, January 17th, thousands of people and their pets lined up outside Madrid's St. Anthony Church. They were celebrating St. Anthony's Day, the patron saint of animals. On that day, a priest blessed their pets. Officials at the church say between 10,000 and 12,000 pets are blessed by its priest each year on this day. Pet owners ask St. Anthony for health and lengthy lives for their pets. Sign1News will be broadcasting international news updates every Sunday. A big thank you to our Sign1News app supporters. You help make this broadcast happen. You can download the Sign1News app by heading to the App Store or Google Play Store on your smartphone. And you can also watch on Apple TV, Amazon, and Roku.